So young man, I am starting to see more and more of these videos of these young ladies that are requiring for you to, in order to take them out on a date,
requiring you to pay large sums of money or take them to very expensive restaurants. And that is what prompted me to kind of do this video to help you guys out. You know, back in my day, we used to call it crazy over pussy. You're just crazy over pussy, that you would do anything you know, to get some ass. And, you know, we had guys like that back then, that whether it was buying chicks stuff or taking them to expensive restaurants or any of that type of stuff, you know, they were willing to do that to have a chance to sleep with this woman. And I would tell you, young men, that from my own personal experience, that I never really had to do that. But it's not for the reason that you think. That yes, there did come a time, you know, because of getting my body in shape and attracting more women, that, you know, I had options. And, you know, if this one wasn't, then I could always go over here and get that. So I wasn't really pressed for it as far as that goes. But there was another thing that kept me from being in positions where I had to, that I was so crazy over trying to get a shot of pussy that I'd be willing to do any type of thing to get it. Back when I was coming up, like in my 20s, that's when like nude strip clubs came in. They were always strip clubs, but this one was the totally nude strip clubs. And I guess, you know, these were the strip clubs that, you know, the chicks would do a little extra behind closed doors, that type of thing. Around the same time, I found out another little gem. And it was these, you know, Asian massage parlors, right? And what I found out early in life, or early in my 20s, is that the same money that I would spend on, or the same money that these women nowadays would require you to spend in order to take them on dates, with the chance of getting some pussy, I could take half of that to these massage parlors, right? These Asian massage parlors, and, you know, essentially end up with the same thing, if not more. So for me, that kind of ended that whole ideal of do all kinds of crazy shit in order to try to get with you. I knew that that wasn't necessary, because for me, all I had to do was go over here to Lim Sooks and I'll get straightened out. Meanwhile, because you so crazy for pussy, you spending all kinds of money and you doing all of this stuff with the hopes of getting it, and, you know, that may not even happen for you. So once I found out, young man, that there was another way, I didn't have to just go all in, you know, trying to do this, that, and the other, then that freed me from, you know, jumping all over myself trying to get with a particular woman. So what I would tell you, young men, in all of this is that, you know, if you crazy over pussy, there's women that will take you to the cleaners, because they know that they have that thing that you want, and they know that you are willing to do anything to get it. And that's why you have women. It used to be back in the day that it was very attractive, fit women that could demand that, you know, if you're going to take me out or whatever, you're going to have to take me here and there. That was almost like, you know, Halle Berry, Beyonce type looking women. And now you have women that are not like that, demanding that same thing. And it is because they know by and large that men are desperate, they crazy over pussy, and they'll do anything to get it. Young man, if there's one thing I wish I had when I was in my 20s, is somebody who has been where I'm trying to go, somebody who has made the mistakes, somebody who's fell in the pitfalls, and they know how to avoid those things, to guide me so I didn't have to, right? Could have saved myself a ton of time, money, energy, heartache if I just had that person. That is what I want to be for you. Listen, if you are ready to start taking your life serious, if you are ready to change and transform from where you are now, and you don't know where to start, I offer one-on-one coaching for you guys. So listen, click the link, the first link in the video description below. Let's hop on a call to see if you qualify for the coaching, and let's start getting your life headed in the right direction, all right? Well, let's get back to the video. There's a lot of ego and a lot of, you know, oh, I ain't got to pay for it, or yeah, you paying for it one way or the other. The only difference in what I do
or what I was doing, is certainty. There was a certainty around the fact that I was going to get mine for what I was spending. A lot of you are out here now, and these women are preying on you because you're willing to do that without any certainty. You're willing to spend all types of money, and you're willing to do this thing with no real certainty of being intimate with this woman. And I call that being crazy over pussy. And I learned early on that you don't have to be. You don't have to be. Here's the thing too that you'll find out, man, that, and I've talked about this before, the idea of how you will spend all of that money in the man that she really wants. The man that she really wants doesn't have to spend a quarter. You're spending hundreds of dollars. Heard a woman say on a video that, $300, that's nothing. If you want to take me out on a date, meanwhile, the guy that she really wants ain't got to spend a dime. But she'll make you spend $300 if you crazy for pussy. And if you don't have any other options, right? So, build yourself, young men, get yourself together, so that, you have the option of other, you're not dependent on this one woman you're trying to date. Had a woman tell me all the time, a good friend of mine, we'd be talking shit to each other and you're going to talk yourself out of pussy. No, I may talk myself out of your pussy, but I ain't going to talk myself out of pussy because you ain't the only one that I'm dealing with. So I had options, young man. And if you don't have options and you got a little bit of change, you don't have to fall into that thing. I found that out early. Found that out early in my 20s. And like I said, I didn't have to go through all of those changes, jumping through hoops just to try to get some from you, because whether I got some from you or not, I knew I can go around the corner and get good, right? So, you start coming at me with the idea that, I have to do this and I have to do that in order to get some from you, or I have to jump through hoops or whatever. You got laughed at from me because, again, I can go around the corner and for half of what I was going to spend on you. So, young man, it's the ideal of just not being crazy over it. And the way you keep yourself from being crazy over pussy is that you create yourself options where you're not dependent on somebody for that. And once you have the options, now you can tell a young lady, you know what, I do coffee, or we can meet for a drink. Why would I spend $300 on you and I don't even know you? For pussy? Yeah, I got that squared away, so we ain't even doing that. So if that's what you're looking for, you can go on down the road and find that from another dude, but you ain't getting that here, because I ain't crazy for your ass like that, because, I got options. I don't have to be. But when they know that you crazy for it and you ain't got no other options, they gonna run the shit out of your pockets. They're gonna run them, and they can, because they know you don't have any other options, right? So I was telling a friend of mine at work about that the other day, how, when we were younger, strip club thing was just hitting, and all my dudes was going into strip clubs and giving up all this money. I had another avenue that I could go in and get sorted out. That stopped me from taking a lot of shit from women and jumping over backwards trying to get with these chicks. I just didn't have to do that. If I wanted to come after you like that, it wasn't nothing crazy. It wasn't nothing crazy where, you got to take me here, or I'm taking you over here. And if you want to go, bet. If not, truck. Because I ain't crazy over your shit. I already, I'm cool. I'm cool. So again, young man, if you want to avoid being taken advantage of like that when it comes to, dating now, just know that, you're paying for it one way or the other. Listen, I know you're dating out here. I know you going after the women, and for as much as I don't want you to be distracted by women and sex and this, that, and the other, I know you're going to do it. But what I don't want is for you to be, taken advantage of by women, because again, they know they have this thing that you want, and you would be willing to do just about anything to get it, including having your pockets ran. And it just doesn't have to be that way. Just doesn't have to be that way. Rather it's Hun Suk at the Asian spot, rather it is my friend calls him a crash test dummy. Rather it's a crash test dummy that likes what you like and is feeling you, and don't need all of that or don't want all of that other stuff, they just down for you, then you get you a few of them so that when the time comes where the woman comes up, like the woman that I was talking about on that video that's talking about, you need to, $300 is nothing if you want to date me and this, that, and the other. What makes you so significant or special? And I'm not even shitting on women saying this. I'm just saying that what makes them significant and special is they know that you don't have the options, so you'll be willing to do whatever. But outside of that what's the difference between this one and that one? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. And most men don't understand or know that, and that's why they go crazy over, this one. When you set the date up with the young lady and you genuinely want to get to know her, and you genuinely want to see if there's some chemistry there, and you go, hey, let's meet for a drink, let's meet for some coffee, and she hits you with that bullshit, yeah, you'll be able to be like, yeah, no, I'm cool. Because again, if you're crazy for it, you'll fall off into that, hoping and wishing that after you spend all of this money on food, or if you spend all of this money taking her here or there, that something is going to happen. And the reality of it is, she just took your money and she going to go right home and give that same pussy to the man that she really likes. And they both going to laugh at you and eat your leftovers. So, yeah, man, I just thought I'd do a quick one for y'all today on that. Hope that helps. I am the Over 50 guy / the online dad. We'll be back with another one soon.